Okay. What's up, people? Sorry about yesterday. I tried to film it and then something happened and I just kind of lost track of time. So it's almost like a retake. So I am doing two videos today. Sorry you're hearing that. It sounds like a lawnmower. My neighbor has like a gardener. So sorry if you're hearing that in the background. But today I am reviewing Alien 3. We're gonna then later review Alien Resurrection today. So I'm doing two videos, and I'm gonna try to talk louder so you're not hearing either that chainsaw or whatever in the background. Sorry about that. Um, but starting, but I guess like really quick, because I saw Spiral the other day, and I know I said I was gonna review it, but because my opinion on it is very middle of the road. Like I think it's average. It's a one watch. I don't need a watch. I didn't need to review it, so that's my quick review of it. I would probably give it like a 6 out of 10. For what it was all right. It was better than Jigsaw. So just really quick on Spiral, but we are now reviewing Alien 3, and yes, I'm doing the assembly cut because it's the only one that matters. Um, this is a movie that's really controversial in the Alien franchise. Like this one is looked at as like one of the worst. This one, Prometheus is another one, but I'm sorry, people. I fucking love that movie. I will fight people on it. Alien Prometheus is fucking great. Um, Covenant, which I'm on the middle on, but Alien 3, I think is all right. I understand the biggest thing, which I guess we could start, is the Newt Hicks thing. They killed Newton Hicks in the beginning, so the film starts off with kind of where we left off in Aliens, with Ripley, Hicks, and Newt being in hypersleep. Then I guess there was a stowaway face hugger. That was another thing. A lot of people have said that was kind of contrived, like, or convenient, like that somehow a Xeno stowed away. I mean, I chalk it up to, I mean, it can happen. So it attacked one of the pods, and since, it's, I think it like sprayed acid, so it caused the pod, and it went through, so it causes the ship to crash on a planet called the Arena 61, which is a prison planet. So they crash land there. Ripley is the only survivor. And in the, I guess the theatrical, the whole scene of her crashing is much quicker and much shorter. Since I watched the assembly cut, it's much longer. You see the bodies of Newt and Hicks. I will agree. Maybe they shouldn't have killed Newt so early in the film. Like maybe they could have killed Hicks, but maybe you could have had it to where Newt somehow survived. I don't know. Maybe the actress didn't want to go back because I'm assuming she was still probably, because this film came out in '92. So cause if she was 10 in Aliens, which was in 1986, I'd assume she'd be closer to like teens, maybe like 13, 14. So maybe parents didn't want her to come back. I don't know. They couldn't get Michael Biehn to come back, so they find the wreckage of the ship discovered by Clemens, played by Charles Dance, who I think is one of the best characters in the movie, honestly. I do wish we get a bit more of him, but, I guess it's alright. So he discovers it. He finds Ripley. He kind of resuscitates her. Um, and then this is all, while this is happening, we're introduced to the prisoners. One of the prisoners is played by Charles S. Dutton, named Dylan, who's like the lead. He's like the leader of this prison group, which is, I guess, they have taken like their faith into Christianity. So they're like this religious prison, which is kind of interesting. Like I said, I like the prison setting, and the biggest thing I like about this movie is it tries to go back to the horror element from the first one. Like, you have one xenomorph this time. Sorry about the helicopter. You have one xenomorph this time. I like the prison setting as this, like, I wouldn't say it feels gothic, but it's very eerie. The only thing is the alien effects were oh my god, they were bad. I can't front. The alien effects in this movie were pretty bad. Considering, like, you watch the first two movies, and even, like, a movie that came out a year before, Alien 3, you got T2, which came out in 91. So it was a year before this movie. That movie still looks awesome today. Yeah, like some of the T1000 effects don't look as great probably, but I will say at least it ages well and looks awesome. The Xeno effects in this movie were trash. I don't know if they were trying to go for like all CGI maybe. I don't know cuz it looked awful. Like any scene of the Xeno we would see, it looked like shit. So so Clemens helps Ripley wake up. Um, he tells her what happened to Newt and Hicks, and she asks him if she can dissect the body, if they can perform an autopsy, because she wonders if basically if fucking Newt got impregnated by one of the Xenos. So Clemens agrees. He performs the autopsy without the approval. Then it turns out they then they prepare a funeral, which he said Ripley wants to burn the bodies so she can get rid of because she thinks one of them is taken over by Xenos. Then so I guess we kind of get ready for. Oh yeah, we have the funeral scene. Um, and while this is happening, some of the it's either prisoners or one of the workers brought in this ox, and I guess probably for dinner, right? And then during this eulogy where they're throwing bodies, Dylan gives a powerful speech. I'll admit, Dylan has a few speeches in this movie that are like, okay, all right. I think Dylan all around, he's a good character. I mean, yeah, even in one of the scenes, he admits he's a rapist and a killer, but the dude, in a fucked up way, the dude's a good dude, even if he did that. Very complex character. I will say that. I think I like some of the characters in this movie. It's just the Newt. I get it. A lot of people didn't like it. They killed Newt so early. Unceremonious is what I said in my other video when I was filming yesterday. I'll admit, it was very unceremonious. But I still think it was a well done scene. So while that was happening, the Xeno busted out. Chestbuster bursted out of the ox. In the original, it was the dog. That's why the nickname Alien Dog was the Xeno's name in this movie. Because it bursted out of a dog. But they changed in the theatrical. That was in the theatrical, it was a dog. In the assembly cut, which I watched, it was an ox. So Xeno bursted out. Then the next day, I guess they don't really show it, but they show, I guess, Ripley and Clemens hook up really quick. He tells her about the history of this planet and well, then so one of the prisoners gets killed by the xenomorph. Um, so so Ripley throughout the film starts realizing, okay, there's a creature here, Xeno's here, because it killed one of, I think his name was Murphy, was one of the people, so that was like the first death. Oh, we also during this find out that Wayland has said they're gonna send in some rescue. Um, so Ripley finds Bishop's body because she wants to know what happened. You know, damaged body from the first one. Some of the prisoners, I guess, who work with Dylan try to, I guess, say screw the teachings and try to rape Ripley. Not Clements. Dylan comes out and basically helps her out, beats the shit out of some of these guys, and then, yeah. So the xenomorph then kills Rains. Pretty decent kill. I will admit, a lot of the kills in this movie are pretty good. It's just the did not look good, effects wise. So Ripley finds like sorry, I just forgot my mind. So I'm just jump. We have the iconic scene where after that attack, Clemens is treating one of the workers and he's describing what the creature is as a dragon. Ripley tries to warn them. Zeno attacks, kills Clemens, which I will admit, I think Clemens, I wish, kind of survived more of the movie. Maybe it's just because I love Charles Dance as an actor, but I wish we got more of him. But whatever, so he gets killed. Then the xenomorph seeming tries to. You think it's gonna attack Ripley. You have the probably the one scene from this movie everybody knows is when the xenomorph's like right on her face and Ripley's like backing up. But the Xeno seemingly just not seemingly doesn't attack her. It just kind of runs. So the creature runs off. Everybody walks back in, and then basically they have to all figure out how to do it. So the Gallic, so, who in the theatrical, I guess they cut a lot of his plot. So Gallic goes crazy, kills one of the inmates, and then he kills another inmate. So I guess we can kind of jump to the group decides the plan is they find this garbage dump thing or this like room where they feel like they can so they manage to lock the creature in it seemingly because they said nothing can get out, and they have one of the guards one of the people prisoners guard it. And while this is happening, I guess Gallic goes crazy, kills one of the inmates, and then he kills the guy guarding the door and then lets the creature out. He lets it out, but then he gets killed in the process. So, I don't know. I mean, I thought it was an interesting. Then there was a scene where they messaged Waylon and asked him if they could kill the creature, and they don't want her to. I really love. One thing though I think this film does show, even though you don't get a lot of Waylon in this movie, it really does show you how fucking corrupt they are. They don't want you killing the creature at all. Like, no, y'all gonna have to deal with it. So they all learn that the creature's out. Um, so I'm gonna kind of jump. There's this scene where Ripley finds out that she's impregnated. Um, by it turns out she was the one who got impregnated by the face hugger, which I actually like. I like that twist reveal and her finding it out and her reaction. Sigourney Weaver performance in this movie is really good. I think she gets like I said, I think a lot of people almost kind of not scoff at her because obviously I think a lot of people will still say maybe she's like the best part of the movie, but I really think her character in this was really good. I think you can watch this as if you want an end point for the Alien franchise. Alien 3 works. Watch it as like a trilogy. Then you can kind of just go into AVP, like if you really want. But so Ripley finds out, like I said, about having an egg in her, and that's the reason the Xeno didn't attack her. So, now they have to all figure out a way to. The prisoners are down, and they don't want to like try to stop the creature. And Dylan basically gives this badass speech about oh, also Ripley wants Dylan to kill her because she doesn't want to deal with the Xeno, like the baby. But Dylan says he'll kill her if we kill the creature. So, very interesting. And Dylan, like I said, is a good character. I think, like, character wise, this movie isn't bad. I think you have the guy who plays Roland Tembo in this, who I thought did a decent job, even though I don't feel like he gets a lot of the story. He's one of the background characters, but I think he works. So they all basically have to figure out a plan to try to kill the creature by themselves. They don't have any weapons. One thing though I really love is when the Xeno shows up. They have this camera. It's supposed to be like mimicking it if you're looking at it from the Xeno's point of view, which I actually think is badass. That's the one thing I actually think this film, not one thing, several things I think this film does well, is that I love those shots when you see the xenomorphs like POV. I think that's like really creepy. And they almost like put like a little filter on it so it doesn't just look like, oh, it's just a camera tilting. It actually like, you're actually almost looking like you're seeing its vision almost. So the Xeno kills one of the last people. I'm just gonna kind of jump. The Xeno kills several people until it's finally killed. Oh, Dylan's death was pretty sad. I'm not gonna lie. I really felt bad when Dylan. Also, Dylan gave like a badass speech right before they're about to fight the creature. He has a few good speeches in this movie. So I thought he had a nice send off. So they managed to kill the creature. The cooling system cracks and kills the creature. And then Aaron from the company, Waylon, who is it's basically Lance Henriksen, who it's supposed to be Bishop's supposed to be based off of him. It's trying to convince Ripley to come with him because Ripley has the creature in her, like the face hugger. But she refuses and then gets on a platform and jumps off and dies. Really sad send off. I actually think, and I watched the theatrical version. I'm not gonna lie, I think it was goofy because the theatrical version she dies and then like the chest buster pops out. I'm happy they changed that in this. I think that was too much. It took away from Ripley's sacrifice. It was too cartoony. Like, oh guys, it bursted out. So the company basically leaves and they close down the prison, I think. And that's it. Movie ends. I really like this movie. I get it, guys. Killing Newton Hicks so early, the way they did, I get it. But I think very unceremonious. But I think if you can get past that, the film gets going, and I think it goes back to the horror feel I really like. Um, I think Dylan was he's probably besides Ripley, obviously. It's him and Clemens are like my two favorite characters of the movie, and even some of the other prisoners were fine. Like they weren't. Golic was an interesting character, even with the little side plot he had. I will admit, like I said, the alien effects are probably the worst, especially considering this film came out '92. Like, come on, man. Like, we had T2, which looked awesome. And even Alien and Aliens looked way better. And Aliens was in the 80s, so I don't get why that looked better than this. But Ripley's soul storyline was awesome, and her send off was awesome. And I think it was so much better cutting out the chest buster popping out of her chest when she sacrificed herself. Because I think that takes away from her. It just makes it fucking goofy. It's when I watch, I'm like, oh, that's so cheese. The chest buster popped out. Like, there was no need. She's jumping in the fire anyway. She's gonna die. I get, Alien 3 in a way could work if you want a trilogy and you end it here. You can kind of end it here. You don't have to watch Alien Resurrection, which I'm going to review later. But I think the music was good, and this was directed by David Fincher, who, awesome director. The thing is, Fincher hates this movie. Like, he almost is, I think he considers this movie an embarrassment. A lot of people do. I don't. I think it's a decent film. It's not as good as Alien or Aliens, I agree, but I think the problem is we gotta stop holding this movie to, like, if you have an amazing first one and a second movie, You gotta look at sometimes these movies as individuals. You gotta stop, because obviously, if I compared every Star Wars movie to Empire, none of them will be good. Besides maybe Revenge, that's like the closest. Sorry about the helicopter. Same thing with Jurassic Park. I understand none of the Jurassic Park movies are ever going to be the first one. Same thing with Alien, because these movies, those first movies are fucking iconic. Not just iconic, they changed film. So you gotta understand when you have films like that, don't expect the sequels to. Just look at them as individual movies. And I'm sorry it feels like I'm raining. It's just because I see this too much. Like, you gotta look at these movies individually. Alien 3 is not as bad as. I'm sorry. To me, a bad fucking movie is Superman Returns. Sorry. Like, my standard for bad is, like, bottom of the fucking barrel. Sorry. Alien 3, yeah, it's not as good as the first two. It's not terrible. Out of 10, I give Alien 3 like a 7. About a 7. But I watch it. The assembly cut. That's the only version to watch, in my opinion. I just think the effects for the Alien was terrible, but largely good film. So, sorry about another helicopter. So, the plan later on is I'm reviewing Alien Resurrection. Which, I guess if I'm gonna give my quick opinion on, I think the first half's not too bad. It goes fucking bonkers in the second half when I get to it. So, that'll be later. Tomorrow, I'm gonna be fixing. We're gonna do Jurassic Park 3 just because I really wanna fix that movie. So, that'll be tomorrow. And then Thursday, we're gonna start the Predator franchise. So that's my quick rundown of what I got going on this week. Alien 3 is not terrible. I would give it a 7 out of 10. I understand the Hicks and Newt thing, but I really think that's the only thing for me that I could kind of be like, all right. Because I thought Sigourney Weaver had a good performance in this movie. Like, I'm being honest. I thought her performance in this, especially the assembly cut, is really good. So, you know, you have some great characters like Dylan and Clemens, so. But, I gotta end this video. So, I'm gonna take a hit. Peace out. So, fuck MK 2021. And fuck Freddy Bitch Jr. And fuck Hank Azaria. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.